So last time we were here, I drafted Raver again because I figured it would give me the best chance of just, winning and getting more drafts, since it was 3 factions that we'd already seen. This deck is not as good as the previous one, by a long shot, but it's got a lot of similar things going on. From what I remember, the 2-drops are generally worse. The burst potential is generally worse, but we do have a second inner focus. The janky high rarity cards are worse. We have we have 3 legendaries, although none of them are like especially good. That said, I feel like Zendo and Sinja are very powerful, but we haven't played them yet. We've only drawn them a couple of times, and they got replaced. Because it was like turn 1 or something. So let's have a look through this thing and refresh my and our collective memory. So we start with the Mana Vortex, probably mostly for cycling, right? Although I think we have a 4 wins. We do have a 4 wins. So there's minor synergy with this Mana Vortex, but it's going to be mostly for drawing cards and, casting Bloodborne spells for 0 and stuff. Double Inner Focus, this card's good. We found out how good it was last time. We do have a couple of things that go nicely with it, I can see looking down the list. Zoe, this card is great. It's good value. It's pretty reasonable tempo because the cost reduction on the spell is very powerful. We have a Shroud, nice to get some Dispel. Solid 2-drop, less solid 2-drop. Questionable 2-drop, very bad 2-drop, but we needed a 2-drop. Phoenix Fire, that's a great card. Deathstrike Seal, also a great card. Mirror Meld, very questionable considering the quality of our low drops, but from what I remember it kept offering me these, and eventually the cards that went with it were just trash and I picked one. Got a couple of decent ranged minions in Widowmaker and Keybeholder. The Keybeholder is obviously the superior of the two, but Widowmaker is, fine. Perfectly capable of taking over a game. We have a Gohorn, good with inner focus, good with our killing edges. A reasonable, as far as a 3-3 for 3 goes, this thing has quite a bit of synergy and damage output potential, so every now and then it'll be really strong. We have an Elkowl, who's a bit of a god. In the very first round, we got a 6-5 ranged Celerity Elkowl, and won the game very shortly. Got a Repulsor Beast for the bounce. This thing is pretty good at protecting our ranged minions and ensuring we get to maintain a bit of tempo in terms of where we are on the board relative to the opponent. Milkblood Devourer, this card seems pretty solid, especially with Heartseekers. Haven't really gotten to go off with it yet, but the one time I've played it, I probably mispositioned it. So I think it could have done a lot more. Double Killing Edge, yes. Need these for making 5-3 ranged. Excuse me, Heartseekers. We want them with Gohorn, and we want them with just generally buffing stuff up and winning the game. 4 wins, lovely chip damage, great against artifacts. Little bit of incidental life gain that helps. Sometimes it just goes a long way, so card is great. Hailstone Golem, solid 4-drop. Arrow Whistler has good synergy with obviously River's Bloodborne spell, our 2 3-drops, as well as being probably the better of the 4-drop ranged minions, because it can have immediate board impact if you have another one, and is high enough toughness to not just die to everything like Fire Spitter does. Double Nasher is pretty good with inner focus in theory. We haven't really gotten to do that yet. I like the card though. It's kind of annoying for the opponent to play around. They have to respect the ability, and it's one of those cards that's difficult to properly avoid. High Hand, it's just big. Vulnerable to Dispel, but otherwise a big pile of stats. Beastmaster for wombo combos. I did actually play against someone on the ladder earlier this week, or last week, sorry, who was running Beastmaster Inner Focus Killing Edge in a Kalios deck, and I thought that was absolutely hilarious. We can theoretically do that. We haven't gotten to yet. Grandmaster Zendo. This card is hilarious and very powerful, I think. We haven't used him yet either. He hasn't really come up, but hopefully we'll get to make him work today. Silverbeak, nice big pile of stats. And Red Sinja, another big pile of stats with a very strong ability that hopefully, again, we'll get to make use of. So we are 4-2, so this session could be quite short, If we lose quickly, I'll just go back to the ladder and play around with some more stuff. Get some more Keep of Arth, maybe some Lurking Fear. Do some deck building. But hopefully we'll be able to go the distance. Get another 7 win. run out of this. I think this deck is... The two losses I've had have been to like quite strong decks. One of them where I arguably should have played very differently on the first turn and avoided a blowout that snowballed. Basically, I put a Murkblood Devourer in a position where my opponent could kill it if they had a pump spell for their ranged minion. What I didn't expect was for them to have a spell that also, an effect that also buffed the minion's health, making it a 2/3, so I couldn't kill it with Arrow Whistler Inner Focus on the way back. And that cost me very dearly. So this is actually a pretty good hand. I like this. We don't have a 3-drop, and I think we need one because this is fragile. This card is generally not very good. I'm not replacing it though, just because it does give us a way to play one of these straight away. Tempted to keep the Killing Edge. It's a way to make this do something. So I'm probably looking to replace one of these, but it's kind of hard to know exactly where you're going to be in the board state. I feel like this is probably good against, you know, large numbers of Wraithlings and random stuff like that. So I'll probably punt the 4 wins. Maybe I just keep the rest of this. The Killing Edge is a pretty handy thing to develop. Phoenix Fire is obviously a great card. It doesn't always kill 3-drops, but you know, if they have a Windrunner or something, we get to play this. Spicy. Maybe I do punt the Killing Edge. Like, this is probably going to die. This we actually want to die. So it's going to be a while before we can set that up. Well, we do all the 2-drops. Let's play the Pulverizer and replace the Golem, because the Pulverizer has slightly more utility. Mirror Meld. Come back to me, Killing Edge. How I miss you. Okay, this could be spicy. We can jam this and hope we get something broken. Wow, now I'm really replacing that Killing Edge. It's fine. There are 2 in the deck. We'll draw one. Do nothing. Oh! Chaos Elemental. Right. Well, isn't that interesting? So, options. I can move down here, move up here, play the Elkowl, hit this, and then shoot it. That gives me an Elkowl. There's a random chance it gets like... Oh no, I can't play the Elkowl. What am I talking about? I have to come here to hit this, and I have to go here to play the Elkowl on the mana tile. That could be exciting. I'm sort of tempted to just play the Elkowl here and see if it gets, like... If it gets rush and ranged, we win. You know, because we hit this and then shoot it. If it doesn't do much, we still developed an Elkowl. It probably has some useful abilities. I feel like that might actually be the play. Rebirth and ranged. Well, that's pretty scary. I guess I just go up here, and I don't attack this in case it teleports near my ranged minion. I'm just going to do this to be annoying, or marginally annoying. So we're getting 2 for 1 now, because this obviously kills this and then teleports somewhere. But we can Phoenix Fire it, but you know, we have to deal with the 2 for 1. Fortunately, we just got a Rebirth ranged minion, so that's probably okay. Wow, that's disgusting, actually. Does it come back with Rebirth and ranged? It might actually just come back as a 2/3. It probably does, doesn't it? It's not that disgusting. Sure. So I may also just pay the 4 life and save my Phoenix Fire by hitting this and shooting it, depending on what else happens. Like, if my opponent plays a good 4-drop here, we could actually be in a bit of trouble. That said, we can Deathstrike Seal this thing. That's pretty good. Darkspine Elemental I don't care about so much. Ah, oh, come on! Spoil Sport. And now I guess we get to find out what it comes back with. Okay, so it's literally just a 2-3. But that's still a lot better than nothing. Options. Let's replace this useless Mirror Meld. Okay. So I can play Nasher down here, move away, Arcane Heart, run it over here, with Inner Focus, trade, ping. That means I'm using up a valuable Inner Focus, but I'm spending my mana maximally. I'm committing a Nasher to the board, which is, you know, reasonably good, reasonably annoying. I'm getting a ranged minion down, which my opponent will have to respect. I'm saving my best cards, whereas this is just a 2-3 that's kind of out of position, not likely to do anything. Yeah, I think that's okay. Wait, it teleported there. I could have just hit it and saved my Inner Focus. I take 4, but... Animations are hard though, right? Yeah, if I decided on that earlier, that would have worked out better for me. We're doing alright though. Me and my opponent have the same hand, and I have the potential to take over the game if she can't answer this. With Deathstrike Seal destroying her next minion. This also helps me keep the 1/1s in check, and the Nasher is in a good position with the ability to deal a lot of face damage. So my opponent can kill it, but it trades with this, gets him for 6. Doing a little Targete impression. Sweet, that's promising. You're gonna Ritual Banishing my guy. Go ahead, punk, make my day. Oh, that's my job. So there's a couple of nice plays we can make here. We can do the Deathstrike Seal thing. We can shoot this and trade Nashes. So this almost dies. She takes 3. And I can come up here and kill this. And I still have time to develop a 4-wins Mega. Actually, that seems like the best, because I can play the Mega in the space where this was. Let's replace this other Nasher. Silverbeak. No, if I need to move Rava out of the way, so do I want to take 3? We both go to 18. Generally that favours me, but... how much do I care about that damage? My opponent hit me. That's a fairly aggressive thing to do. I can come over here, but then I don't really have any good to put the 4-wins. Whereas if it's sort of centrally located and I get rid of this doubler thing, I think that's probably worth 3 life. Like, I'm still on 18, that's not bad. Or 17 rather. I think I'm still in a decent spot. Oh, that's a good draw. Like, if she plays anything massive, we have the Deathstrike Seal in our pocket. And we are going to be able to gain some life with this. Which swings a race. Like, this card's quite hard to race. So we can easily cast 3 spells next turn that affect the board in a big way. Oh, yes please. You're doing Ritual Banishing. Ugh. Okay, so we have to Deathstrike Seal now. But that's still okay. Bold. Okay, so we don't have to Deathstrike Seal. We can play the Key Beholder. Buys a fair amount of time. I think I prefer the Deathstrike, but doesn't mean much. I can even body block with another Heartseeker. Like, I can just make a board full of ranged minions. It kind of sucks if she has Breath of the Unborn, though. Do I play her on Breath of the Unborn? Maybe not. So you go like here or here. And mobilize that. This goes here. I'm pretty sure we just kill that guy anyway. I'm actually going to replace this Phoenix Fire. Ooh. Could use that instead of Deathstrike Seal. It's actually probably better. Gone. You have an inner focus now. That gives us a lot of potential damage. Also, of course, if my opponent doesn't have like a way of removing all this stuff, she's in big trouble. Okay. Oh, that sucks. At least we have a massive Silver Beak, but it might just die to like Ritual Banishing, which these people always seem to have so many of. Okay, so the Silver Beak's an easy punishment to use. This is obviously bad now. Ooh. I don't think that does anything really. Not yet anyway. I think we're doing this. Ooh, it might be time. This could be really good actually. Like, my opponent probably can't kill me outright here, but she can maybe at least threaten lethal. And this gives us a lot of... It's basically bust, right? So if my opponent attacks me this turn and doesn't kill me, we get in for 6 with this, get in for 2 with Raver, and then play Zendo in such a way that my opponent will suicide into it or the Silver Beak. That could be pretty exciting. In fact, even if she doesn't attack me, I can still do it. Like, say we kill this, move up here. Suppose she does nothing, right? We kill this, move the Silver Beak in, play the Zendo here, Arcane Heart, Inner Focus, ping for 1, attack for 6. Opponent goes in her turn, dup, attacks this for 6. Sure. Don't you dare Ritual Banishing me again, so help me God. Okay. Suiciding the Wraithlings in is promising. Only 1 card left in hand. Okay, I think we've got this. Unless that last card's really good. Or like a Demonic Lure or something. Come on, come on. Alright, we win. And we win in style. So all we have to do is go over here, play Grandmaster Zendo and attack. And unless I fatally misunderstood how Grandmaster Zendo works, we win the game. If I fatally misunderstood how Grandmaster Zendo works, then we're dead. But whatever, let's... Come on. Yes! Zendo lethal! We got there.